10 quotes by Viktor Frankl that will make you unbreakable. Viktor Frankl was an Austrian neurologist, psychiatrist, and Holocaust survivor whose life became a testament to the power of meaning. He endured unimaginable suffering in Nazi concentration camps, where he lost his parents, his brother, and his pregnant wife. Yet, through it all, Frankl discovered something extraordinary, that even in the most hopeless situations, life still holds purpose. He founded Logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy centered on the belief that man's primary drive is not pleasure or power, but meaning. Frankl's message is timeless. Suffering is inevitable, but despair is optional. His work reminds us that the human spirit can endure anything, as long as it finds a reason to. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. This quote captures the essence of resilience. Frankl reminds us that sometimes, life puts us in situations we can't escape: illness, loss, rejection, or failure. But even when we can't change the external world, we can still transform our inner one. Growth begins when we stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" True strength lies in adapting, evolving, and finding meaning when circumstances remain the same. It's in that moment of surrender, not defeat, that transformation begins. Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. This quote is perhaps Frankl's most famous, and for good reason. It teaches that when we know why we are alive, no amount of suffering can break us. A strong purpose gives meaning to pain and turns survival into triumph. Frankl saw this truth firsthand in the camps. Those who had a reason to endure, love, faith, hope, or a goal, were the ones who made it through. When you live with a deep why, even the hardest how becomes bearable. It's not the situation that defines you, but the meaning you give to it. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude. Even when the world strips away everything, home, family, safety, or dignity, there's still one thing no one can take: your freedom to choose your attitude. Frankl believed that this inner freedom defines our humanity. In the camps, he saw people who had lost everything still choose compassion, still choose hope. That choice, that invisible act of defiance, became their victory. Life may break your body, but it can't break your spirit unless you let it. Suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning. Pain becomes bearable the moment we understand its purpose. Frankl believed that we can transform suffering into strength by giving it meaning. When you see your pain as part of your story, a lesson, not a punishment, it no longer controls you. Every wound can become wisdom, every loss can awaken compassion. Meaning doesn't erase pain, it redeems it. Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Life constantly tests us with events we can't control: criticism, injustice, loss, or temptation. But between what happens and how we react lies a sacred space. In that space lives our freedom, our maturity, and our true self. Frankl invites us to pause before reacting, to breathe, to choose consciously. That small pause is where transformation happens. Reacting is automatic. Choosing is divine. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Modern life is full of distractions: social media, noise, consumption. We chase pleasures to fill the emptiness we don't want to face. Frankl warns us that pleasure without purpose leads to spiritual numbness. True happiness comes from meaning, not stimulation. The soul doesn't crave comfort, it craves connection, purpose, and depth. What is to give light must endure burning. Every flame that shines must first be tested by fire. Frankl understood that greatness is forged in struggle. If you want to inspire others, you must endure pain without letting it destroy your spirit. The fire of suffering purifies, not punishes. Those who dare to give light must first learn to burn, and still remain kind. When we are unable to find meaning in life, we make ourselves miserable. Frankl believed that the absence of meaning is the root of much modern suffering. When people lose their sense of purpose, they often fall into depression, addiction, or cynicism. The problem isn't that life is painful, it's that it feels meaningless. But meaning is not something we stumble upon, it's something we create, through love, work, and responsibility. A life without meaning feels empty, but a life with meaning can endure anything. In some ways, suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds a meaning, such as the meaning of a sacrifice. When we suffer for something greater than ourselves, pain transforms into purpose. Frankl saw this in parents who endured hardship for their children, or prisoners who found peace by helping others. Meaning turns pain into service, and service into strength. The noblest form of resilience is not surviving for ourselves, but for someone or something we love. Sacrifice, when chosen with love, becomes sacred. Our greatest freedom is the freedom to choose our attitude in any circumstance. This final quote brings Frankl's philosophy full circle. Freedom is not the absence of pain, but the ability to respond to it with grace. Even when trapped, we remain free in how we think, how we love, and how we face adversity. No one can take away your inner freedom unless you surrender it. Every day, you have the power to choose courage over fear, meaning over despair. That choice, made again and again, is what makes you unbreakable. Viktor Frankl's life reminds us that meaning is stronger than misery. You don't need a perfect life. You need a purpose that makes your pain worthwhile. If you found inspiration in these quotes, remember, your suffering can become your strength, your story can become someone's light. Don't just survive, live with meaning.